Okay, here's an update of grids on clay. Hahn Mud Grids. So I knew the snow was coming. It was super dry. After our torrential rains and flooding, it got super dry. Like it's spring. It just like took all of the mud away. And so in anticipation of this coming and getting wet again, I was able to put down a little track for myself. And I thought I would add some grids, the ones that I pulled up. I thought I would set some down here. But because the ground was uneven and not very flat, I figured out in short order, mud is very unforgiving once it is dry. So I couldn't go any further than this a little bit. I also, in anticipation, which was kind of nice because I had these mats down on top of just mud, and that made the ground flat underneath. So I pulled out the mats and I laid grids down, and then I put the mats over top of the grids for inside the shelter, and that was awesome. Like it went really fast, except that moving mats by myself was a little slow because I'm just a woman and not a big one. But if somebody else were helping me, it would have been easy. So anyway, another thing that I learned is that if you lay down your grids when everything is soft, then the grids sink in, of course. And then if you want to add to clay, what you're going to find is that there's not enough space to add on. You have to actually, if you want to add on, you have to wait till there's moisture again so you can lift up the grids. Like probably, let's see, something like that might be all right. You might be able to get the grids to slide in, but no, pretty much they're going to sink in, and that's going to make it so you cannot add another row until it's soft again. And that's the nature of clay. You mold it the way that you like it, and then when it dries, it sticks. And that's it. That's all that I thought I'd share with you. It might be a disadvantage that you can't add grids until it's wet again, or it might be an advantage in the sense that you know these grids are not going anywhere. Once the mud sets them in, you're not going to have to worry about them sliding around once they push into the ground, which is great. I think that's great. Here's the corner that I put some sand in to make them less slippery. Oh, that reminds me, that is something I figured out today, because this is the first time it snowed since I had them in. And yes, they do get a bit slippery. I noticed my boots slipping on them a little, but they're textured, so you're not going to slide very far. But I don't regret putting the sand in here because it's not slippery at all where you have sand. I noticed that right at the edge of the hill where it starts to, the grade, goes down really fast from flat to the hill, that these seams open up, especially like this one. You can see it's almost out of the grids. I am not going to take this up unless I absolutely have to. I think it's going to be all right. Like I said, there's clay underneath, so as this gets stomped down, it's probably going to stay in place anyway. And the configuration will be different because this is my temporary fence. The real fence is going to go in a month. Can you believe it? I have to wait another month. And this will not be their hangout spot for very much longer. This is just going to be their dry lap for the winter, and most likely I'll feed them their grain up here, if they get any. I'm hoping that, well, my horse won't get any. He doesn't already. I'm getting him like black oil sunflower seeds and some MSM and a little bit of giblets to make him want to eat it when it's wet, and that's it, because he could easily be insulin resistant, which is why I'm doing a track system. So I'm going to get the fences in, try to get, I don't know how, probably Skinny Horse is going to have to go out and eat first. But anyway, that's a whole different topic.